You're gonna upset her. What's the next movie gonna be?
Well, do you want to talk about Master Commander first?
It's up to you.
Okay.
Camera one operational.
Camera one operational. So we're doing over underrated films.
We are.
We're gonna do an underrated now, and it is my underrated choice. It's not my most underrated film ever, but it's way up there. It's Master Commander: Far Side of the World.
Yes.
I'm heavily biased about this movie. Hugely favorite movie of mine.
Did you see when it came out? I was late to the game.
I'm sure that this was a public library on DVD release rental at my house. We, didn't Blockbuster a lot. We may have Blockbustered this because this is based on a series of novels that...
Have you read them? I assume you have.
So my dad has read all of them and had them around, and I read here and there. I read a couple of them.
I heard this is like a combination of two of them.
It's a combination of several elements of a couple of... Yeah, I think it is just two of them. This is better for me than the books.
Really?
I don't say that too often, but this is just always, since the year I saw it when it came out, has been one of my favorite movies. I think it's underrated because at the time, Hollywood was moving very much in a transporter, Born Identity, Guy Ritchie,
King Arthur
direction.
Yeah, big scale.
And we were not moving in that direction with this film. And this is like a classic, I hate that word, but this is like a classic action-adventure movie.
Josh, I was going to ask you to do this. Can you load up really quick, I want to see a snippet of like a teaser. I'm guessing, I don't know this, I feel like if you look up like one of the TV spots for Master and Commander, it's probably all the action stuff.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Almost guaranteed. So I want to see, because I've actually...
I'm almost positive, because that leads exactly to what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Which is that this is an old school, I hate that word too,
okay,
action movie that is the editing and the directive style of the film is not trying to change what the source material originally delivered. So in other words, we don't have a Batman movie that has now been changed into this crazy vignette, set piece, dark, gritty, overwhelming thing. We have a book and the source material about dudes on boats, and we have a film about dudes on boats.
I did find an interesting point.
Okay.
Now, you said that in the TV spots, trailers, whatever, they leaned heavily.
No, I'm guessing that they did.
You think that they advertised it as that?
Yes, absolutely.
Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of Black Pearl came out less than half a year before it. Do you think that has any effect on this as a movie?
So I was getting
the marketing.
I was getting to this.
Yeah.
That is probably the number 2 reason why this tanked.
Because it's not pirates.
Because we have a boat adventure movie that's that's crazy boat adventure stuff, Legolas. Like you just have all this stuff going on, and this is just a movie about dudes on boats. And that was not what America wanted at that time.
You know what, dude? Watching this, I miss Russell Crowe, like, back then. Like, and watching this again as an adult, because when I first saw the movie, when I was, like, younger, I was like, this is boring.
Sure, of course.
And then there's an action scene at the end, and then I saw it again in college, and I liked it. And then I saw it again now, and you're like, oh my god, like, you get to know these characters.
Yeah.
And Russell Crowe, I don't think people understand how hard that is to carry a movie like that. Yep. He's so good. And then, of course, Paul Bettany steals everything.
Well, we're going to get to that.
We'll get to that.
Mm-hmm. So here's a 15-second TV spot.
Okay.
And I haven't seen it before, so I don't know.
I don't know
how relevant it's going to be, but...
Edit this in, by the way, so that we can...
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay, go ahead. James, you're going to be totally right.
In 3 days,
oh, shit.
One movie will take America by storm.
I knew it!
Yeah.
Yep, I knew it! I've never seen a trailer.
It even has, like, Total Recall font at the end.
Dude, legit, I saw some Shakespeare play way back when I was like 12 years old, and this kid was there, and he said Master and Commander was stupid. This is how movies make money, though. You need repeat. Yep. So the budget for this thing was $150 million.
I believe that.
So
that's great, though.
If you have a budget that high, you need to at least double it to make profit, if not more.
With marketing and everything.
It made $211 million. Yeah. So they lost money on it.
I have a TV spot for Curse of Black Pearl, which would have come out in the same year. I don't know how similar they're going to be.
I don't know. I want to see this.
It's only 30 seconds long.
This is very relevant.
same guy talking. That's the same voice. That's the same guy.
Double trouble. Okay.
From producer.
From producer Jerry Bruckheimer. On July 9th, the pirates are coming.
You best start believing in ghost stories. You're in one.
Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush.
God, I miss old spots.
I miss these.
I miss the shit out of these.
Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
You like pain? Try wearing a corset.
That film delivers on that, though.
Yes.
That film delivers on that, though, and this does not.
And none of the other Pirates movies do. Yeah, what I love about Russell and Paul is they have opposing views on things, and you can see both sides of it. As a 31-year-old man, you know what my favorite scenes in this? It was on the island when he was drawing the discovering creatures and stuff.
Some of my favorite scenes in movies in general are the Bethany Crow scenes in this. There's a particular one where the time when he tells them the first time they're not going to the island. That is so real. That is so two adult men who both share a common loyalty to one thing, but both have separate interests to another thing, duking something out. That's just like me and any of our friends. If you and I, like, it's so real. And it's not in a theater way, it's not acted well, it's just dudes having a disagreement about stuff that's really important to them.
And you can see both sides of it.
And they interrupt each other. That's another huge thing in this, is people talk over each other. It drives me nuts when people don't talk over each other in movies that are dialogue heavy. They do that in this all the time. Love that. It's so well acted, and the screenwriting's so well done. I love that they spent $150 million because the boats look great. The costumes are right. You can go and look at people online that have written articles that are involved in reenactment things and people that study Nelson-era British naval warfare, and it's super accurate.
The movie breathes, dude. It takes its time. And then when it does get to the big battle scene, it pays off.
Huge payoff.
And the thing is, you care about all the characters that are involved.
You're invested, and you have all these little curly cues where you get to wrap up all those things that we've been building to. There's so many gut-wrenching scenes in this, but they're not gut-wrenching for the sake of getting you to be emotionally moved. They're gut-wrenching because you already know the people, and you wouldn't want that to happen. And I mean, losing the guy in the storm annihilates me every fucking time I watch this, because it's just, how can it not? Because it's not just a movie. It's the shots. Oh my God! If I could go back and give them another $150 million, there's so many times in this movie where somebody turns on a camera and then just puts their hands down. I love that so much. You just let stuff happen in front of the camera lens for a minute.
The director of this movie, Peter Weir. One of my all-time favorite movies is The Truman Show. He did that as well.
I never bothered to think about that. I did not realize that. Wow.
Yeah.
Another
just
great
like
example.
with The Truman Show, I love when the scenes have time to breathe.
Let stuff happen in front of the camera. You're paying these people to do this stuff in front of the camera. Let them do it. Christopher Nolan. Don't need to be jogging around with two big Panavisions on your back all the time. Stuff just gets to happen.
Yeah, and the opening scene, because you always have your leading man, and then the opening scene when you see the back of Russell Crowe, and dude, he can carry. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And I miss when he was in everything.
Yep.
Because he was. I can't think of a performance of his. I don't think that he phoned in Robin Hood and stuff like that, but I can't really think of a performance of his that I didn't like.
He's discerning enough to keep himself out of films where he knows he would be in trouble. I think is part of, for the most part. We could pick that statement apart.
Yeah.
But and this was also on the back of Gladiator.
Oh sure.
And thinking about this, not versus, but with Gladiator, is a very powerful pair of performances that I mean, the guy is in a very select group of people as far as I'm concerned in terms of carrying a male-driven
on
movie.
that note, I think ironically his best performance is the one he didn't win for, A Beautiful Mind. That could be
another one. Yeah, from 98 to 04, he just
The
was
Insider? Did you see The Insider?
No, I've never seen The Insider.
Yeah. I mean, it was good from when I saw it.
There's never going to be... I mean, they're not going to make that again. Hollywood will never sink that much money into a movie.
No, the next one they do is going to be action-packed.
Yeah, it's going to be Star Trek 09, and that's fine, and that's what the audiences are looking for.
They don't take their time like that anymore.
Not for big budget stuff. No. There's no...
You got your A24s and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's stuff, and there is a new diversity, not just with A24, but there's a nice diversity of things going on nowadays where you can see films like that, and obviously Hereditary or whatever is a movie that takes its time and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, as far as mainstream films, No, not really. Master Commander just is such a unique. The dialogue is unique. The characters, the acting, the voices. It's cast immaculately. It introduces us to one of my favorite actors of all time, Paul Bettany, who delivers an
steals
immaculate.
everything.
Yeah, he steals everything he's ever in. Delivers an immaculate performance here, and everywhere. He makes the Da Vinci film bearable, for loving God's sake. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just.
And even if you go to like A Knight's Tale, A Knight's Tale doesn't need Paul Bettany per se, but
No.
he's hands down that was my introduction to Paul Bettany, and since then, like,
Yeah, Knight's Tale was.
dude, there have been so many awarded performances that I think his is better than. I think he could have been nominated for that fucking movie. Like, for real. Like, he's so good. Angels and Demons.
I guess. Well, we're not talking about Angels and Demons today. Which we really should talk about those films, but we're not. I'm going to get off on a big tangent about Tom's hair. Well, we don't have. If I'm good on Master Commander, I could sit here for another hour and talk about how much I love it, but if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. So we hard edit right here.
Oh yeah. 24 minutes for that one.
Well, and then when you whittle it down, it'll be like 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Here's a
Can
problem.
I have Wolf? Yeah. Let me touch Wolf.
We can review the Blu-ray itself as well.
Let me touch Wolf.
Cameras are live.
That's the discard I didn't realize.